You might want to strap in, because what started as a routine segment on The View has erupted into a firestorm that could change daytime television as we know it. Karoline Leavitt, a young, sharp, and unapologetically conservative rising star, just lobbed a bombshell response at the show's hosts, leaving Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg scrambling for cover. Now, there's talk that sponsors are pulling back, ABC is panicking, and The View might be standing on the brink of total collapse. And the spark that lit this fuse? A few offhand remarks about Karoline's looks and wokeness that fans and critics say crossed a line that can't be uncrossed.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Karoline didn't come out of nowhere. She earned her stripes behind the scenes in Washington, building a reputation for being articulate, fearless, and dedicated to shaking up the status quo. People took notice when she consistently delivered clear, punchy sound bites, refusing to tiptoe around issues that most young politicos handle with kid gloves. Her talent for framing debates without blinking made her a prime target for both admiration and intense criticism. Supporters championed her as a new voice for right-leaning millennials, someone who wouldn't compromise her beliefs just to appease mainstream media. Critics labeled her brash, claiming she was too bold, too soon, but her growing popularity was undeniable. Invitations for TV appearances began piling up, and she found herself in the crosshairs of The View, a daytime institution known for big personalities and even bigger controversies. When Karoline's name came up on The View, the panel wasted no time. Joy Behar lobbed the first grenade, hinting that Karoline's success stemmed from being considered a 10 by certain conservative power players. Whoopi Goldberg chimed in next, linking Karoline's rise to the very wokeness Karoline frequently criticizes, suggesting she owes her platform to progressive movements that once barred women from speaking out. Sonny Hostin then connected the dots to race and privilege, implying Karoline's career was another example of someone benefiting from a tilted playing field. In the span of a few minutes, the panel had reduced Karoline's credentials to her looks, her political worldview, and an assumed background that didn't include genuine hard work. For a show that preaches women's empowerment, it struck many as a direct contradiction. Social media lit up instantly, with longtime fans expressing confusion over how The View could undermine a woman's credibility by focusing on her appearance, and do it so casually. The moment Karoline got wind of these remarks, she fired back with a short but scorching video on social media. She calmly dismantled the host's arguments, highlighting the hypocrisy of a program that claims to uplift women but tears down those who don't align with their narrative. Far from an unhinged rant, Karoline's rebuttal was sharp, calculated, and laced with enough sarcasm to light up the internet. Her key points resonated. Why was someone's appearance a valid critique if the goal is championing female success? Why chalk up her achievements to wokeness instead of the years she spent refining her skills in the political arena? She called out the show for treating conservative women like punchlines, then wrapped up by stating she wouldn't be silenced or defined by any mainstream media outlet. The clip blew up, and within hours, hashtags like hashtag Karoline Claps Back and hashtag Cancel The View trended worldwide. The View is no stranger to controversy, but this time, the backlash felt different. Sponsors are extremely protective of their brands, and rumors circulated that major advertisers were on the fence about continuing their support. The concern wasn't necessarily political. It was about public perception. Nobody wants to be seen funding personal attacks that undermine a woman's achievements, especially not in a climate where hypocrisy accusations can go viral in seconds. Meanwhile, ABC executives reportedly convened multiple crisis meetings, debating whether to address the issue on air. Some staffers argued for a direct apology. Others insisted doubling down might blow the story up even further. The cast members themselves were said to be on edge. Joy Behar, for one, allegedly felt blindsided by how quickly the blowback escalated, and Whoopi Goldberg maintained she was simply stating a fact about historical limitations on women. None of that, however, seemed to quell the anger from viewers who saw the segment as mean-spirited and deeply contradictory. While The View reeled, Karoline's star soared. Invitations flooded in for her to speak on other talk shows, podcasts, and political panels. She seized the moment, framing herself as a symbol of what happens when a woman refuses to conform to a single narrative. Even some skeptics of her politics admitted they admired her poise under fire. Behind the scenes, rumors surfaced that Karoline might parlay this newfound fame into a bigger career move, be it a run for office or a larger media role. In just a few days, she went from being that young conservative who appears on cable news to a household name. The irony was delicious for her supporters. The very segment meant to mock her catapulted her into a national spotlight. Now, the million-dollar question: will ABC actually cancel The View over this? It sounds extreme, given the show's long history and robust audience. But the network has to weigh the costs. If sponsors pull their ads or viewers begin tuning out in large numbers, the show's longevity could be in real jeopardy. The alternative, a potential cash shakeup, carries risks too, because some watchers tune in specifically for the fiery takes from Joy and Whoopi. Insider leaks suggest that if sponsor pressure intensifies, somebody might be forced to walk. Joy Behar, a fixture on the show, could be a prime candidate if ABC decides an apology isn't enough. Whoopi Goldberg's seat, once considered untouchable, might also be on shaky ground if the controversy doesn't die down quickly. The tension is palpable. Do they maintain the status quo and hope viewers move on, or make a radical shift to restore public trust? At its core, this clash with Karoline exposes a cultural divide. On the one hand, you have a daytime show that positions itself as a beacon of progressive and feminist ideals. On the other, you have a young conservative who argues she's being silenced not for being incompetent, but for not towing their ideological line. Add in the explosive element of personal insults about appearance, and it's a perfect recipe for public outrage. Political commentators note that The View has often served as a gatekeeper for how certain narratives are shaped. But now, with social media in play, guests or even non-guests can clap back on their own platforms, instantly reaching millions. Karoline didn't need an invite to speak. She simply flipped open her phone and delivered a message that resonated across ideological boundaries. In doing so, she made The View look like an aging giant unsure of how to handle an empowered digital-savvy adversary. So, where do things stand? The pressure cooker at ABC isn't likely to cool down anytime soon. Sponsors are watching every new development with caution. Fans remain split between loyalty and outrage, and Karoline's popularity continues to surge. Some say this controversy has been a long time coming, a tipping point for a show known to push boundaries without always considering the fallout. Now, the network must decide whether to reshape The View or risk letting it drag them into a deeper PR quagmire. In the end, this showdown isn't just about Karoline Leavitt or The View. It's about who controls the narrative in an era where social media calls out perceived hypocrisy instantly, no matter how big the institution. Will The View adapt, apologize, or attempt damage control? Or will Karoline's unstoppable momentum force the show to reevaluate its approach to empowering women, especially those who don't share the panel's views? Let us know what you think. Did The View finally cross a line they can't come back from? Is Karoline Leavitt an opportunist playing the victim card, or a truth-teller exposing double standards? Either way, one thing's for sure. Daytime TV just got a whole lot more interesting, and the shockwaves from this feud might shape the conversation around politics, media, and women in the spotlight for a long time to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this battle is far from over.